Hello, and welcome to our DAAD Scholarships for Research and Study in Germany workshop. My name is Jen Bess, and I am the Director of National Fellowships in National Fellowships and Scholar Programs. And this is just a short video to kind of walk you through some of the options for various research or study opportunities in Germany. I should have begun by saying Guten Tag. This actual PowerPoint has been put together by DAAD itself, and so the slides are theirs. Information is what they have been sharing, and I'm going to try and give you some advice and perspective based on our advising of students from USC over the years with these awards. So DAAD in North America is the German Academic Exchange Service, and let's learn a little bit more about why you might want to consider Germany. So it is a language that is spoken worldwide. It is the most widely spoken language of the EU. But I would also suggest to you that a lot of these awards that we're going to cover may or may not actually require you to know German. So it certainly is a good language to learn, but don't be dissuaded if you do not yet speak it. It's ranked third worldwide for the number of books published. There are a lot of international students in Germany. A large part of that is about the quality of the education that is provided, in addition to the low costs for students to go over. The largest economy in Europe and the third largest in the world, and it does have a very high academic standard and standard of living. So it's a wonderful place to consider for a variety of options. Germany is known as a leader in science and technology, third only to the US, China, and Japan. They spend a lot of money on research and development. They have a lot of strengths in fields such as physics, optics, chemistry, automotive, all these wonderful things, but they're also really good in humanities and social sciences. So pretty much anything that you're interested in studying, there's probably an option for you in Germany. There are two main types of higher education institutions in Germany. So research universities, which is most like what we would probably consider universities. So they have undergrad, professional, and doctoral programs, but they also have universities of applied sciences, which are practice-oriented bachelor's and master's programs. So just know that there are different types and just really dig into the programs you're interested in and see what kind of coursework is both offered, but also what kind of experience and background is required of you to be successful in those programs. They also have a variety of research institutes that are outside of universities. So here are some examples: the Max Planck Institutes, the I need to practice my German, y'all. Sorry about that. But just know that there are options for doing research outside of universities as well. The DAAD shares a variety of resources for how to find the right program or school. They have a lot of databases in Germany that have the programs that are taught. You can look at the types of research centers that exist. There are rankings by the Center for Higher Education Development, and that can be a good place if you know that you want to study philosophy, but you're not sure where the best programs are. You can look at those rankings. And then there's general information about studying research in Germany at these links at the bottom. I also would encourage you, if you're interested in studying in Germany, to talk with your faculty. Certainly if you have and know faculty in the German department here, talk with them, but also the network that your faculty have worldwide is something that's worth tapping into and checking to see if they have colleagues that they would recommend to you or know the reputations of programs in Germany for you to look at. So let's look at some of the opportunities that exist if you are a current undergrad. How can you get to Germany for some study and research? They do offer a summer course grant. So these are courses that are actually taught in German at German universities. So for these grants, you would need a high level of German. You need to be a rising junior, senior, or a grad student. 2 years minimum of German, okay? Because you're gonna be taught in German. This has to do, you have a variety of things to choose from, but the courses are literary, cultural, political, economic, 3 to 4 week long period for those grants, and they would give you a scholarship plus health insurance and travel reimbursement. So if there are courses that you want to take, if you want to spend a month in Germany and you have a good level of German, this is a wonderful option. And it's at a variety of German institutions, universities across the country. So you have a lot of choice and options in these. That deadline, as far as I know, is December 1st, but check their website just to make sure that they haven't tweaked that. The EMGIP, the Bundestag Internship. So this is if you're interested particularly in, let's say, European governance. This is a 2-month internship at the German Parliament, right? So if you are graduating this year as a senior, or if you are a grad student, you're eligible for this. You need pretty good German for this, which makes sense because you would be at the German Parliament. And they're looking for people with backgrounds in poli-sci, international relations, law, history, econ, or German. You do get a salary from the Bundestag, and they can help with health insurance and housing. That deadline is today, possibly. We can check that and see, but that is an option in case you are interested in the more political side of things in Germany. The DAAD RISE program, Research Internships in Science and Engineering, this is very popular with USC students. So this is an option for those who are in STEM fields, who want to have a research experience outside the US. So this is approximately 10 weeks in the summer. What happens is they open a database November 1st that has a list of projects that PhD students have that they want students to come work with them on. You can choose to apply to up to 3 different programs with a single application. And so you want to find ones that match both your background and experience, but also your future goals. So you want to bring skills with you, but also have things to learn from the experience. So you do not have to know German. The language of the labs is in English. They provide scholarships and housing. So this is an opportunity where you're not going to end up making money over the summer, but they should be covering your expenses to live in Germany for that summer. And they also include a travel allowance now. So the portal opens November 1st, and then it closes December 15th. So you have about 6 weeks to get that application in. And it's essentially biographical information, and then a cover letter that you write to each of the 3 programs that you're interested in. So it's a way to present yourself and your background to the PhD student. And then there's a ranking system that happens. That's that web-based matching process that this slide mentions. So we usually have, at least one USC student get these every year. 2 or 3 has been known to happen, and they all come back having had great experiences. One piece of advice, I think that programs that are in major cities in Germany, such as Berlin or Munich, probably are more popular. And so fit is really important with this. You want to find a research program that really aligns with your interests. And so all things being equal, if you can choose a program that is outside those main cities, your odds might be slightly better. So if you're going to apply to 3 different programs, fine for one of them to be to Berlin or Munich, but I would recommend that the other 2 probably should look further abroad in Germany. There are a lot of really good universities in a lot of different cities in Germany, so that should not limit you in terms of your options. The RISE Professional is very similar. You're eligible for this if you have already done a DAAD RISE grant like the previous summer, or if you are a graduate student or a recent graduate of the university. So this is very similar, but this time you're being placed within industry, right? So you have an internship with industry with leading German companies. And this one, there's a wider variety of whether or not German is required. But in general, it's very similar to the application process and the program of the RISE. They do offer potentially a language course if you need or want it. And the level of funding that you receive is based upon your level of education. So that's a very similar application process. They have a database of opportunities, and you can apply to several, and then there's a matching process that happens. So this is great. We have had students, not as many students do this, but we had a DAAD RISE alum. She had done DAAD RISE as either a sophomore or junior, and then applied for this as a senior and was successful. So I would recommend this, and it's definitely really great for graduate students who are seeking some more of that industry experience. Whoops. All right, so those are the opportunities for undergrads. For graduate students or graduating seniors, there are a couple options. So the study scholarships are fantastic because this really provides funding for you to earn a master's degree in Germany. So it can support 1 or 2 years of study. You can apply as a graduating senior who's about to go to Germany to start a program. If you are in Germany and have started a 2-year program, you can apply during your first year to get funding for the second year. So it's really flexible. The language ability just depends, right? So there actually are a lot of graduate programs in Germany that do not require, that are taught in English, right? So you may not need to have German for your classes. It still would be good and a good faith effort to demonstrate that you are or intend to attempt to learn some German. That can be helpful. And so this is for people who you could be a current senior who's about to graduate. You can be an alum, or as I said, you could be a graduate student already in Germany. And so this is, they give you 850 euro stipend per month, insurance and travel stipend. So November 5th is about when a lot of these deadlines are. So I don't think that has changed. There are different deadlines if you are in different fields, however. So that study scholarship is for your typical social science, humanities, STEM fields. But if you're in art or music, there's an earlier deadline, in part because there may be some portfolio pieces you may have to include or auditioning and things like that. So, but they do encourage students in art and music to apply for these awards. Germany is known for a lot of different artistic expressions, and it can be a really great place to study these things. So again, this is for a 1-year position, and it can be, if for students who have graduated, if you're working towards your PhD, you could go over for a year to study there, or you could be a postdoc. So that has an earlier October 15th deadline. Then they also, for graduate students, offer research grants. So it depends, like how long that lasts, depend on how much research you have to do. You can use it if you have a well-defined research project that requires you to be in Germany. Apparently, it can also be used to complete your PhD in Germany if you are working on that. And you have to have an invitation by the host institution. So you need an affiliation, someone at the university who has invited you to come and do that research for that particular period of time. And again, the level of support depends on your graduate level, whether you're just a master's student or a doctoral student or postdoc. And that also has a November 5th deadline. Again, we'll mention the Rise Professional because this is for graduate students, but I've already talked about what this offers, so that's a great option. And then in general, for all of these, I would say, there's links throughout here and links at the end. I'll also include to the DAAD website itself. There is a lot of information on that website about the application process, the various materials that you need, what the requirements are and the deadlines. So please make sure that you read through that. They also have a pretty interesting YouTube page. They've got some videos that will walk you through some of these application processes. That can be really useful with screenshots and things like that. But in general, the tips for success, and this is true, this is not specific to DAAD necessarily, but you need to explain why being in Germany and doing this thing, whether it's research or study, is critical for your long-term goals, right? How does this fit into your big picture trajectory? Why is Germany the place that you need to be? What benefit both are you hoping to receive from that, but also what are you bringing to share, right? How are you enriching Germany by being a student there? Where possible and where required, certainly having a letter of invitation is really useful in showing your seriousness of purpose for the particular grants, indicating that you have chosen a program that is appropriate to you because you have faculty members there who are saying, yes, we would be happy to work with you. Here are the resources that we can provide. So don't be afraid to pursue that unless there's no place for it in the application. So like the DAAD Rise, that's not a thing. But for the study grants, that might be something that's worth looking into. And then the research grants, certainly it's required. Explain clearly why you chose the location or program. So the first question is explain why Germany. This is why the particular university, why the particular degree program, why that particular lab. What is it that's really calling to you in that particular situation? Quality letters of recommendation, particularly when you are applying for programs that are in another country. It's really important to have people on the US side who know your academic work, your research, less so about your character necessarily, but people who can attest to that and provide good, strong detail, um, put you in context, and sort of serve as an introduction to the reviewers in Germany who will be selecting the recipients. So you definitely want to work to get strong letters of recommendation. You want to talk with faculty here about why this is a program that you're interested in, what it is about Germany that's really calling to you, how you can you want to share drafts of your application so they can see how you're putting yourself forward. But it's really important to build those relationships early on so that you are able to have these strong letters of recommendation. And then it should go without saying, but in general, make sure your application is both on time and complete, right? Give yourself enough time. Make sure you've read through all of the pieces and parts of the application, that you understand what they're asking for and what you need to do. One thing I'll flag for you, so like the DAAD Rise program, there is a certificate of enrollment that they require. They do not accept the general certificate of enrollment that USC has that you can just print out for yourself. You actually have to take the form from the DAAD application page, print it out, take it to the registrar's office, and get a stamp, like the university seal, on it. That's all they'll accept. So that's an extra step that you'll need to do and build in time to make sure that that's accomplished. So if you're interested in any of these, one of the first things you should do is really read through all the ins and outs of the application. Make sure you know what's expected. We are happy to help you navigate any of that. If you have questions about pieces that seem strange to you or you don't know where to go, that's part of why we're here to help you. So whatever we can do to make sure that you are successful in submitting a timely and complete application. And then here are just some lovely, wonderful pictures of Germany that always make me want to go and visit myself. They want to see you soon. If you get one, I'll try and come and visit with you. In terms of next steps, so our office, fellowships, national fellowships and scholar programs, we have fellowship advisors that you can meet with one-on-one and talk about your interest. Review the DAAD website. It's daad.org/en for English. Our office does have what's called an intent to apply form. So if you think that you are going to apply for a study grant or the DAAD Rise or the summer intensive, anything like that, I'll include the link to that underneath this video on YouTube, and you can fill that out to let us know. And once you do that, then we can give you access to our Blackboard organization. And on Blackboard, what you'll find, there is a DAAD folder that has information based on our experience with previous applicants. We will have sample applications from students who have won the awards previously that you can look at for inspiration. We've had a lot of Rise winners. We've had a handful of study winners. We don't tend to get a lot of applicants for the summer intensive, so don't panic if there aren't examples of that. We are here to review drafts of your application, so happy to look at the cover letters for Rise. If you've got a statement of purpose for the study grant you want us to look at, we can do that, no problem. Happy to talk with you about best people to choose for your letters of recommendation. So we're just here to help you in that entire process, to help answer questions and connect you with the DAAD program. And then finally, submit your application by the deadline. Keep deadlines in mind, they're important. I do recommend making sure that those deadlines that are in this PowerPoint, double check the website. This PowerPoint from DAAD is a year or two old. They've not updated it because they're pretty consistent in their deadlines. So, but I would suggest making sure that you haven't missed something. I also know that this is a weird year with COVID, and so as far as DAAD knows and as far as we know, they're running all the programs that they can, and so all applications are planning to be accepted, and hopefully that they will be able to bring you over across the ocean starting in the summer. So that's it. Here's my contact information and our office information. So we would be happy to help you, and we really do hope that you consider Germany. It's a fantastic place, a beautiful country, really good food, nice people, and excellent atmosphere for research and scholarship. So please be in touch if you have any questions, and we look forward to helping you with your application. Thanks so much.